right, it's Tuesday, May 4th, getting on 9 a.m. in the morning, and I had the cameras off for a few days because I had a couple of friends come into Vegas, and we did that for a night, and then went out and did some camping near the Grand Canyon, which was awesome. But I turned the cameras off while they were here, and now I think my blood alcohol content is back down to an acceptable level after a sober night camping last night, so I'm ready to hit the road again. And I'm staying right now at Red Rock Canyon, which is some dispersed camping sites about 20 or 30 minutes west of Las Vegas. And right now I got about a 90-minute drive to get down to the Mojave National Preserve area, which is where I'm going to camp most likely for a couple days. All right, so it's about 11 a.m. Drove for about an hour and a half, and there's a trail hike over here called the Teutonia Peak Trail. It's about 3 miles out and back. I think I'm gonna be able to run jog it, or jog walk it, I should say, until it gets to the peak, and then I think you got to do some scrambling. So just a couple other cars here, pretty laid back, beautiful atmosphere. It's interesting, on one side of the road you can see where the Joshua trees burned in a recent forest fire, but a lot of times as I was driving, you'd see the other side where obviously the fire couldn't spread to. So it's kind of sad about all the burnt trees, but it still makes for a really beautiful and unique atmosphere. All right, it's about noon. Just got done with that hike, which was awesome. The views were great. And there's a lava tube formation that's about an hour away from here across some dirt roads. So I'm gonna go drive over and check that out and have some lunch over there. Right, it's about 1 o'clock, and made it about an hour's drive over it was pretty smooth terrain until the last 10 minutes, and then it got pretty tough because there's all these chunks of lava rock everywhere. So made it to the trailhead. There's a couple other guys here, but they bounced while I was making lunch. So I'm just gonna get started. I think it's just like a quarter mile in and out. So off I go. All right, so this is it, I think. And as I feared, it's just basically going down into the tube. I don't do tunnels and holes and crevasses that well, but I made it all the way here, so I got to at least duck my head in. It goes down a little bit further, but this is probably as far as I'm going to go because I get real nervous in claustrophobic situations. But I'm glad I came down here, but this is as far as I'm going to go. All right, that was really cool. Just it only took like 5 minutes to walk up there and walk back. But really cool, interesting feature of this landscape. I'm glad I went and checked it out. Now I'm just gonna head out and try to find a camp spot for the night. All right, so it's about 3 o'clock, and after a little bit of searching, I found a spot that I really like. It took me a long time to get the stupid thing leveled out, but finally got that taken care of. Good enough anyway. So as you can see, I've got a big, huge pile of lava rocks behind me, which is kind of unique. And then I positioned myself with what I hope will be a pretty good view of the sunset tonight. So that's it for me today. Gonna pack it in and be at it again tomorrow morning bright and early. All right, it's about 2:30 on Wednesday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I got a late start today because a couple of reasons. There was a football game I wanted to watch. That's over now, and I had internet service, so I just stayed at that spot. And secondly, the main thing I wanted to do today, there's some sand dunes that are near here, and I wanted to do a sunset hike because it's near 100 today, so I didn't really want to do anything during the middle of the day anyway. So right now I'm on the move to the visitor center for the natural preserve to fill up my water tanks, and then just got to find a campsite that's near where this hike is to go out to the sand dunes later on this afternoon. All right, so it's about an hour later, and I'm at the dunes. I got all of my water tanks filled up, which was awesome. And now I've got a great view and a great spot. Look at this freaking camp spot. It's only like, I don't know, a third of a mile away from the trailhead that's just down that way. So right now I'm just gonna have a snack and make sure all my flashlights and everything are charged up for the hike because I want to try to catch the sunset. So it might be getting dark by the time I head back down the dunes, and basically just rest up before the hike. All right, just walking down the road to the trailhead. You see the Xterra behind me, and I got about a third of a mile to get to the trailhead, and then it's supposed to be basically like a mile or two, the equivalent of going up a Stairmaster, which I'm definitely not looking forward to, but the reviews say the views are worth it. And then it's like basically like a half hour just shoot straight down the dunes. So I got 3 bottles of water, snack, chargers, flashlights, sunscreen. So I think I got my bases covered, and just looking forward to get some exercise. All right, so it took me a little over an hour, but I actually did make it all the way up to the highest summit and took some video up there, but it was just so windy and sandy that I had to come back down to a little bit lower where it's a little bit more hidden from the wind, and just enjoying the view. I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at right now. I'm primed for a pretty good sunset, so I'm just gonna camp out up here, watch the sun go down, wait for some colors to show up in the sky, and then basically make a break for it and head back down the sand dunes toward the car. It's almost 7 a.m. on Thursday, May 6th, and I had an awesome sleep last night. It's totally quiet out here. I could hear a pin drop still at 7. There's nobody driving by or anything. Beautiful views of the dunes waking up, which were awesome last night. That hike was so cool. So anyway, I got about an hour and a half drive to get to Joshua Tree National Park. That's today's activity. Good morning.
Morning.
I've got the park pass. Awesome, thank you. All right, so I'm into the park and stopped by the visitor center and got my official brochure / map. So just gonna pull over for a few minutes and have a look over the map and try to figure out a game plan for the day. All right, so here's the map I'm looking at, and I got in just around here, just past this north entrance. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue down here and drive through this whole path all the way up to the Keys view at 5,000 feet, double back, and then take this whole drive all the way through the park and come out down in the southeast quadrant, because I'm trying to do some dispersed camping like over in this area for the night. So basically just kind of work my way in general south through the park. All right, it's getting on about noon, and I've had an amazing morning. Went to do some rock scrambling, which was a lot of fun, and took in some views of the Coachella Valley, which is just down about 5,000 feet from the elevation where I was at, which was an awesome view. And you could even see the Salton Sea in the background, which is kind of the area where I'm going to camp tonight. Anyway, just pull over and had some lunch, and now I'm going to start making my way along the drive all the way towards the southern end of the park. All right, so it's about 1 p.m. and I'm just now leaving the southeasternmost part of the Joshua Tree National Park. Had an awesome day. Started out in the northwestern quadrant of the park, and this park is kind of split into two different sections. The northwestern area where I started is part of the Mojave Desert, and that's where all the Joshua trees and rock formations are. And then as you traveled south and east, where I'm leaving now, you can totally see in the middle it kind of starts to transition to what the Colorado Desert is, which is much more vast and at a lower level and more flora and color, but totally different landscape than the actual Mojave Desert part of the park. So really interesting stuff. Anyway, had a great visit, and now I'm just heading to go try to find some camping for the night. All right, so it's about mid-afternoon, and after driving for an hour or two outside of Joshua Tree National Park, finally found a good camp spot that I'm happy with, and just gonna hunker down for the rest of the night and relax. And so that brings this video to a close, covering my time in the Mojave National Preserve and Joshua Tree National Park. I had an awesome time. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Take care.